Hi, my name is Pedro Moreira da Silva, and I'm a staff product designer working on a Duo workflow project at GitLab. And today I want to share this research study that I conducted with Erika Feldman, UX researcher, about comparing two different design concepts for an AI coding assistant in the IDE. So one concept was a conversational UI, more like a chat, natural language user interface. And then the other concept was a non-conversational UI, which did not have cues and affordances for a natural language interaction and was much more about existing UI elements that users are familiar with, like buttons, inputs, very basic inputs, and so on. And so, in a summary, the conversational UI did show promise in terms of tasks that are more high level, like planning and learning, but it did not demonstrate an absolute advantage for other kinds of tasks that are more low level, like editing and revising. Users did appreciate both having natural language and also discrete buttons for common actions, and buttons sometimes, again, for common actions would be much more efficient and helped make the capabilities of the assistant more apparent. And finally, the participant feedback validated the usefulness of the capabilities that we demonstrated in the prototypes, like reviewing a plan, editing, questioning, and revising. And it also highlighted opportunities for improvement in areas such as layout, icon clarity, and visual design. You can then take a look at these specific research insights that we have here, and I'm going to just dig into the main one, which is this conversational UI can be better for AI coding assistants in IDEs for planning and learning. So here, as I already mentioned, we did see that the findings suggested that the conversational UI can be more intuitive, efficient, and satisfying when users need to plan or learn. And we only saw a positive trend, but not an absolute advantage in terms of intuitiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction for this conversational UI. One thing that I want to mention here is how we conducted the research. So we had 16 participants attempting 4 tasks in the 2 design prototypes, the conversational and non-conversational UI. The 16 participants were a mix of beginner developers, so 2 years or less of experience, and the other half were experienced developers, 3 years or more of experience at the job. And for each of the tasks, they rated how easy it was, and also we measured their success at completing the tasks. And then for each prototype or design concept, participants rated the overall perception of the quality of the experience, so how satisfied they were with that. And at the end, they compared the 2 prototypes or design concepts to pick which one they felt was more intuitive. So what were the key factors that contributed to conversational UI having better results than non-conversational? So the first one is discoverability. So in the conversational UI, users can just focus on one place and one area of the UI to perform actions and get information, which compared to the non-conversational that had actions and information more scattered around, and they had to learn because it was a novel interface. Also, the learnability aspect, again, related to discoverability, but here the navigation labels and design patterns of the conversational UI align very well with the user's existing mental models, because from all of the participants that we got in the study, every one of them has had at least one AI tool used in the last 6 months. So no participant was not exposed to an AI tool. All of them were familiar and have used conversational UIs with AI tools, and that was the expectation that a lot of them brought to this experience of how an AI tool should look and behave. And that familiarity ensured a much smoother and efficient experience. And some participants, interestingly enough, they also felt that this dialogue nature encouraged exploration and learning, which was something that we already assumed, and that we had some hints towards that assumption. And finally, the other key factor was efficiency. So it's related to the discoverability and learning. In the conversational UI, the participants felt it was easier to complete the tasks because regardless of how unique or complex the task was or their request was, they could just go to the chat input, one place, to get whatever they need. And in the conversational UI, the action and information were more scattered, and also participants felt that it was more limited, that it wouldn't allow them to do whatever they wanted to do. So these are the metrics that we captured, and also for which one of them we saw a statistically significant difference. And this is a brief overview of this research study. And what we're going to do now is, for the conversational UI, pursue that conversational UI as part of the design direction for Duo Workflow, specifically for the steps of asking for a plan and having it explained. And at the same time, we want to integrate the strong aspects of the non-conversational UI to ensure that we also have a really good experience for low-level tasks related to manipulation. This is the main insight and the main recommendation. Again, I invite you to look at the other insights and recommendations that we have here. I'll share the link to these insights in next to the video, and also the link to our research issue in case you want to find out more or give feedback. Thank you again for watching this, and thank you for my colleague Erika Feldman for helping me out with this research and co-authoring it with me. See you next time. Bye-bye.